Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to review the DeathAdder Elite. It's the newest DeathAdder, just released recently. And going into what is different from the DeathAdder Chroma is these DPI buttons on the top. So on the fly, if you want to up your DPI or you want to lower your DPI, that's what these new buttons are for. I personally don't care for the buttons just because I never switch my DPI. I pretty much just set my DPI to 400 and then I never change it. But if you're someone that likes them, it'll be a little bit of a benefit for you. One thing that's cool is if you want to use these buttons for something else in Razer Synapse, you can basically bind these buttons to do whatever you want them to do. So if you don't want to use them for DPI, you can set them to use anything else. So that's pretty cool. Going into, they have new mechanical switches on the mouse 1 and mouse 2. They feel decent. I never really had a problem with the old DeathAdder Chroma clicks, but maybe some people did. But I mean, these feel great. Nothing too special about them, but they're not too soft, not too light. I really enjoyed them while I played with the DeathAdder here Elite for a bit. So that's new. New mouse gates. Previously, you just had one tiny one in the corner here and one tiny one in the corner there. So it's now one big mouse gate across the top and then one at the bottom. I don't have an old DeathAdder Chroma with me to show and compare these. I wish I did, but this is just a tiny upgrade for the mouse skates here at the bottom. I like the big skate here, so that's good. And then going into the new sensor as well. They don't say what the sensor is, but I believe the new sensor in this guy is the PMW3389, which is a really good sensor, and I didn't have any problems with the sensor. No Excel that I found, no Excel or any problems with it malfunctioning. I really tried to whip this mouse and make it malfunction, and I couldn't. The old DeathAdder Chroma sensor was great as well, and them upgrading it, it's great in this one as well too. The side buttons are actually really crisp. I really like the side buttons on this mouse compared to like other mice. The Zowie side buttons aren't anything fantastic. These side buttons are actually like really solid to click here. But yeah, so going into just some other things, the shape is the exact same. The coating is the exact same. I'm pretty sure the rubber on the side is the exact same as well. So if you guys haven't tried out a DeathAdder, or let's talk about this. If you have a DeathAdder Chroma, I don't think the Elite is worth upgrading for if you already have the Chroma. I think you just stick with the Chroma, and then maybe if it breaks or something happens, then you can get the Elite. But there's no real reason to upgrade to the Chroma if you have or upgrade to the Elite if you have the Chroma. If you are looking for a new mouse, definitely check out the Elite because, or one thing you can do is go to one of your local stores, like a Best Buy, and it's a very popular mouse. So they're gonna have one on the shelf that you can actually grab and hold and see if you like the shape. Because if you do like the shape, then I know a lot of people love the shape of the DeathAdder. So try one out, go into a store, hold it. If you like it, buy it. If you don't like the shape, then don't get it. But if you're gonna get any Razer mouse, I really recommend to only use the DeathAdder if you're trying to play CS:GO seriously, because it has a really good sensor compared to the other mice that are laser. Going into one of the problems. Oh, actually, let's talk about the mouse wheel. They actually said they focused a bit on the mouse wheel to make sure that it wasn't clicking when you weren't actually, not scrolling it or like moving it around. A lot of people use the mouse wheel to jump in CS:GO, so you don't want to be like just randomly running around and then you just jump because somehow the scroll wheel thinks you were scrolling it. So they focus on making sure that it only operates when you're actually moving it, right? So that's good because a lot of other mice have that problem. So I didn't have any problems with using this as my jump, and it really was actually really awesome for b-hopping because it has it just really, I don't know, I guess it has a lot of spins, a lot of notches on it compared to, I guess, the lower 16-notch Zowie wheel. I'm not sure exactly what the DeathAdder's is, but it felt really great using. Going into the one problem that I don't like with this mouse is that a lot of the times you have to use their software, Razer Synapse, which is not that big of a deal for most people because they just use it at their house, and they're always going to have Razer Synapse installed. But for pros that are actually traveling around and to have to install Razer Synapse is super annoying, and at some events you're not even allowed to. And where that comes into play is these DPI buttons. Let's say you go into Razer Synapse and you set the lowest one, the 400, and then you set them whatever. If you close Razer Synapse or don't have Synapse open and you hit one of these buttons, then you can't get back to 400 DPI because it goes back to the default settings, which is like 800 as the lowest, then 1600, and then whatever. But if you close Synapse, these DPI buttons reset to a default stage, and you can't get back to 400 without having Synapse running in the background. So that will be that's going to be a really big deal for someone that actually wants to use this mouse at an event. But it's a really good mouse overall. Like I said, try it out at a local store to see if you like the shape. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Bye.